For a fourth straight year, Central Michigan can win a Mid-American Conference West title with a victory this afternoon, while Eastern Michigan's looking to play spoiler and prolong that celebration, as well as keep their hopes alive for a potential home tournament game. And hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Convocation Center here on the West Campus of Eastern Michigan University as we count you down to tip-off of this one between the Eagles and the Chippewas. Let's go and take a look at the standings, though, coming into today's contest. Central Michigan not only looking for that MAC West title, but are also looking for a third consecutive regular season title. That's, of course, by winning their final 3 games, as they are trying to keep pace with Miami of Ohio there on the east side. Both teams sitting at 12-3. Ryan Woolley alongside Greg Steiner. David Pierce Anderson will be by momentarily. And Greg, it's always exciting when you have 2 in-state rivals go at it, but even more exciting when there's something to play for.
Well, you talk about that, a championship, a chance to cut down the nets for Central Michigan. It never gets old to raise a banner. On the other side, though, Eastern Michigan knows they have to win 2 of their next 3 to have a fighting chance for that first-round tournament game, considering Akron now has expanded their lead. The Eagles struggles the last 2 games.
Central Michigan, a very good team this season, and a big reason why is Raina Frost.
Yeah, you look at Raina Frost. If she is not the MAC Player of the Year, I don't know who's voting. You and I both have a vote, and to me, she's the surefire candidate. 57 double-doubles in her career, 10 consecutive. Most recently, she ranks 2nd in scoring and leads the league in rebounding, leading the nation 2nd best in that category as well. Look at those numbers, Ryan. They're pretty darn gaudy.
Very, very good. She's one of 6 players also to have 1,000 points and 1,000 rebounds in their career at Central Michigan. On the flip side, though, Courtney Lewis, certainly a player Eastern Michigan's going to lean on in this one.
Well, Lewis has become the player that she was a year ago. Back to scoring. Over the last 5, averaging 15 points a game, a 5-point-a-game improvement over what she had been going at. But more importantly, the efficiency has gone up. 64% field goal improvement now with 12 triples. That's previous. She was just 32% from the floor.
She had 18 points and 6 rebounds, and the team sent back to NIU, and just 9 points and 3 rebounds in the team's earlier loss to Central. For more on this game, though, let's bring in David Pierce Anderson, who is standing by. David, what do you got?
Well, Central Michigan has had an explosive offensive performance all season long. That's where most of their success has come from. On the flip side, Eastern Michigan, they're going to have a tall task to quiet the Chippewas offense this afternoon. Eastern is only 2-9 when they allow 70 or more points in a game this season. And Central are currently on a 9-game streak in which they've scored 70 or more. It's a tall task for the Eagles defense, but they're pretty good at disrupting the offense, and they are averaging over 17 turnovers per game, and really expect Minot Cardwell and Anna Carrico to come up big with some steals in this game. Eagles are going to need it if they want to stop the Chippewas. Brian, Greg, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. And there you see it, just the contrasting styles between these 2 teams. Eastern Michigan scoring around 62 points a game, Greg. Central Michigan at 80%, and David talked about it. You got the best defense against the best offense.
Well, and you look at it, Eastern is going to have to really do a good job in that rebounding category. Central is going to attack the glass, and when Raina Frost is there, grab everything they can. But you have to slow them down. The other thing is you got to find some offense. 61 points a game is not going to be enough to get CMU a loss today on the road. So Eastern's going to have to do a real good job of offense.
Second meeting between these 2 schools this season. Eastern falling earlier this year, 71-61. That one in Mount Pleasant. This is the 86th all-time meeting between Eastern and Central. They first met during the 76-77 season. The Chips lead the overall series 50-35. But Eastern has won 22 of the last 39 meetings. That dates back to the early 2000-2001 campaign. And Greg, you just look back at that first meeting between these 2 teams. And, you know, you look at the final score. It was just a 10-point game, but realistically, it wasn't that close.
No, it was a game that saw Eastern miss 10 consecutive shots in the second quarter. Really had a troublesome time right before the half. They did a good job defensively against Central in the first quarter, held them low, but then they started hitting those threes, and that changed everything. As you take a look at the tournament picture, if it would end right now, Miami, via their win earlier this year in Mount Pleasant, that's the reason they hold the #1 seed, despite the 2 being tied. But right now, Eastern would be on a collision course with that #1 seed on the road unless they're able to pick up a couple more wins.
As you said on top of the broadcast, really need to win 2 of their next 3 to kind of cement themselves to have a home game. But a lot to be decided here with the final 3 games. Eastern will have Toledo here in their next outing, and then they wrap up on the road at Ball State. Tip is won by the Central Michigan Chippewas. They will move left to right. They come in at 21-6 on the season, 12-3 in conference play. They've won 5 in a row. Here's your starting lineups brought to you by the Ann Arbor Ypsilanti Eagle Crest Resort. We talked about Raina Frost in the open. She is tied, though, with Presley Hudson for the team lead at 21 points a game. So Eastern certainly has got to find a way to slow down one, if not both of them. On the flip side, Eastern Michigan, 12-14 in the year, 5-10 in conference action. They're coming off a loss to NIU 70-60. Their lineups brought to you by the Michigan Lottery. And you'll notice absent in that lineup this afternoon is Danielle Minot. She has been struggling as of late. So we're going to have Natal Pineda stepping in, her 3rd career start this season. You look at Minot, though, Greg, 3 of the last 5 games, she's put up no more than 5.
Well, her shot's not been there, and the big thing is she has to find a way to score and do so in high percentage makes. And you don't get her to start, but I don't anticipate she won't be in that lineup not for long, especially as short of a bench as Eastern Michigan has. But on the flip side, you have a CMU club that will not go very deep on its bench either. So that's the one good thing they have. Both clubs will see a lot of players that play heavy minutes.
Now, you mentioned Minot. She is Eastern Michigan's leading scorer at 14 points a game. Also leads the team in rebounds as well at 21-5 in the first meeting between CMU and EMU. Right now, the Eagles jump out to an early lead. That is Courtney Lewis, who we highlighted in the open, hitting the 3 from the top of the key.
Well, she's has to find those open looks and get them to fall. And the other thing, Eastern, you expect them to try to get Maddie Waters to beat them. They're going to try to take away Frost and Hudson. And if Waters is hitting shots like that, it could be a long day.
Central Michigan ranks very high as far as many statistical categories. We talked about them being #1 in scoring. They're #1 in the MAC in field goal percentage, #1 in 3-point field goal percentage at 38%. Best in the MAC in assists, free throws, rebounds. They really can do it all. And as again, they're trying to find a way to have that top seed heading into the tournament in just a week and a half.
Lewis tried to do everything she could to get it inside, just stripped and the block to Waters.
There's Smith. Hudson all over her. Smith picks up her dribble and drags her foot. First turnover of the game here for Central Michigan. Well, they do lead by 2. Chippewas under the direction of Sue Guevara. She's now in her 12th year on the sidelines for the Chips. She's amassed a 206 and 148 overall record. She's the program's all-time winningest coach, and she has now led Central with their 21 victories this season to 20 wins in 4 straight years and 8 of the last 9.
Has done a wonderful rebuilding job in Mount Pleasant, getting that community to re-embrace CMU women's basketball and getting them to the postseason. And right now, they're a Sweet 16 team from a year ago, looking to get back there as an at-large, even if they don't win the entire dance this year in Cleveland.
On the flip side, you look at Eastern Michigan head coach. Of course, that is Fred Castro, now in his 3rd season. He's already matched his win total from a year ago, so nothing but steps forward for a young Eastern Michigan program and would like nothing more than to prolong the Chippewas celebration of a 4th straight MAC West title.
Good position inside by Hudson, just too strong off the rim, and a good rebound by Smith to take it the other way.
Watch out, open from 3 for the corner is offline. That was Waters again. Now Cardwell trying to take it. Drives right around, scoops and scores. Frost had good positioning, but Cardwell finds a way up and in.
Well, they push in transition, and they also try to get Frost backpedaling, which helped them in that circumstance.
There's Frost, dishes it right side. It's Waters again. Now right corner 3, too strong. Rebound chased down here by Lewis. Eastern Michigan, opportunity to grab the lead for the first time after that 3-2 advantage.
Come down, settle yourself. Remember, against NIU earlier this week, Eastern had 2 points for the opening quarter. First quarter woes have been a problem, but when Eastern is able to score and get off to good starts, it's been a good advantage for them.
They're going to have a charge here on the Eagles, so they will turn it over to the Chippewas. And you mentioned the first quarter struggles. It's really kind of dictated the game. It's been kind of the rule of play for EMU this year. Eastern 9-4 when scoring 14 or more points in the first quarter, 6-3 when they've held teams to 14 or fewer in the frame. That's compared to 6-11 when the team scored 14 or more.
You look at those numbers on your screen right now. 9-4 when they score 14 or more in that opening frame. Not a wild number either. You think 14 is really only 7 makes.
Yep. 2-on-1 opportunity here, though. Anna Carrico drops it off to Pineda. Rattles around and then finally drops through. Eastern back up by 2. Unselfish play by Anna Carrico.
Well, that thing wanted to come back out and finally sank back through.
Another 3, though, this time left side. That's Waters.
Even with a hand in her face by Anna Carrico, she's still able to create enough position. And you've already seen CMU launch all but one of their shots today from long range.
Waters now with back-to-back 3s. The last 2 buckets here for the Chippewas. Feed inside goes to Kira Johnson. Trying to find her way in. Well, pump fake, gets the defender in the air, then she's able to finish at the rim over Smith.
Hari Smith was backpedaling, doing everything she could to get in the way of Kiara. Just good enough touch for the Buffalo, New York native.
Another 3, this time right side. That one's airballed, and Pineda will come away with the rebound. First meeting between these 2 teams. Talia Pineda did not play. She did have 11 points and 4 rebounds, and Eastern set back to NIU.
That was that stretch where Eastern had the midweek bye, and she had the time that she was out with that thumb injury. As you can still see it wrapped up, but not causing her a ton of problems. And a near turnover right there was almost CMU's 5th here in the opening 4.5 minutes, or 5.5 minutes, excuse me.
She certainly elevated her play since that game. She has scored in double figures 3 times, and 2 other times she had been just outside of double figures with 6 and 7 points respectively. 5 to shoot. Left corner 3 is through again. That's Michaela Kelly.
Well, you see the openness that it creates. They came in, collapsed on Frost. They shift over Anna Carrico, but also 3 other Eagles converge, which left that opening.
That's 3 straight 3-pointers here for the Chippewas. They now lead by 2. Eastern 4 of 8 from the floor. Fighting away into the lane, doesn't go. Rebound in the hands of Anna Carrico. Now Kira Johnson tries to put back. That one's left short, right off the rim. Now trying to push the actions, Kelly. Kelly gets behind Lewis. She puts it up off the window and in. 5 straight points and a 7-2 run. Chippewas up 13-9.
When you look at Eastern shots, I mean, they're shooting 40%, but the big thing is they've had close proximity looks. They've just hit the back of that rim and come straight off.
Try another head-on 3, does not go. Eastern cannot buy a bucket from downtown, now 1 of 3. Hudson, she'll take it up and in, and that will prompt the timeout across the way. Fred Castro has seen enough. He'll try to calm the troops down. Central Michigan riding high right now. 15-9 here, second meeting between the 2 schools, this time from Ypsilanti.
This exclusive presentation of college basketball on ESPN is brought to you by the Michigan Lottery, for fun for schools, and the Marriott Ann Arbor Ypsilanti Eagle Crest Resort.
We knew coming in, Central Michigan, one of the best three-point shooting teams in the Mid-American Conference, and Greg already showing why here in the first quarter.
Yeah, you look at it, their first 7 shots have come from outside, and 3 of them have rained true. Waters, open looks on 2 different occasions, and that's how they pushed themselves on this 7-0 run right now of the 2+ minute span that forced Fred Castro to call a timeout.
Michaela Kelly, the other three-pointer here for Central Michigan, and they lead 15-9. 3:06 to play here in the first quarter. Eastern Michigan, meanwhile, yet to hit a 3 in this game. They are 4 of 10 from the floor themselves. There's Pineda, drops it off over to Danielle Minot, who again did not start this game, but is in now. Lewis trying to drive baseline. She'll put it up off the rack and in.
If you look at the earlier matchup this year, Eastern went 7 of 15 in that opening stretch, 46%. CMU, meanwhile, 8 of 17, but just 1 of 5 from downtown. That's the January 26th matchup at McGirt.
Central, though, trying to expand their lead here in Ypsilanti. They lead by 4. Smith kicks it out. Here's Hudson, top of the key. The defense here by the Eagles, now 2 seconds to shoot. Smith's got to put it up. She does. It's left short. Resulting in a shot clock violation, and Eastern will take back over, down by 4.
Well, did a good job forcing Hudson to have to give the ball up. Gets it to Shahari Smith, and she just tries to pull a shot up from the elbow that's probably a little farther than what she would like on her range.
It was a 10-2 run before Eastern scored that last bucket. 7 straight if you shorten it down a little bit as Minot drives in, kicks it back out. Now here's Pineda, thought about a 3, instead now drives in. Now over to Lewis. She'll put it up just inside the free throw line. Saved here by the Eagles, and then they'll turn it over. Eastern now with their 4th turnover of the day.
Yeah, Johnson tries to kick it back out near wing. The only problem is everybody had left that side, and it created just a turnover back the other way for Central.
Eastern averages right around 16 turnovers a contest. That 3's left short here by Central. The rebound into Pineda. Chippewas, after grabbing that lead, have now gone scoreless in just about 2 minutes. 1:20 to play here, first quarter. Cardwell pulls up, left elbow hits. 4 straight points for Eastern Michigan. They're now back within 2.
And they're still shooting 40+%. You come inside, a little curl, and an easy shot for probably the most consistent player Eastern has had all year, and that's Corian Cardwell.
Now we're going to have off the ball foul. So Eastern Michigan will take back over. 5th turnover now here for the Chippewas. You mentioned Cardwell, Greg. 2nd on the team in scoring here for EMU this year, 13 points. That's 19th in the conference, and then defensively, she does a number 2. She averages around 7 steals a game, or excuse me, 7th in the conference in steals. That's 58 on the season. That's 17 and 7 in the first meeting. One just too strong. Rebound now to the Chips, trying to push the action. Here's Kelly. Drops it off right side to Hudson. Kelly gets a screen set underneath by Raina Frost, and she'll take it right to the rack.
Yeah, Frost was extending herself, coming back at the play, which created that collision in just enough space for Kelly to shoot through, give her 7 now, and leading scorer in this contest.
Eastern can hold here for the final shot. It's just about a second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. 4-point advantage for Central. Lewis gets around her man, takes it all the way up, no call, loose ball. Tracked around, and Central will have it with 2 seconds now at half court. That's Hudson. Hits the backboard and the rim. Crowd goes with a groan. A lot of Central faithful here in Ypsilanti, but it's the Chips on top by 4, 17-13. We'll be back after this. There's a lot of work that goes into getting basketball games ready here at the Convocation Center, Greg, and some of the most underrated positions, I think, are the facility crew and our production crew here on ESPN.
Yeah, you look last night, we have a gymnastics meet here versus Michigan State, and 12, not even 12 hours later, it's back to being a basketball arena ready to go, and a great job by Adam Martin, Andrew Hensley, and all those guys on the other side that make this happen.
Had a chance to work with Adam Martin this past week here on ESPN. Great guy. Chance to hang out with him out at your house as well. Daughters got to play. Well, my kids were out here. Actually let my kids go on the floor and hang on the backboards, which is kind of fun.
I like the Harlem Globetrotters right there.
That's right. Globetrotters in training. Right now, it is Central Michigan on top of Eastern by 4, 17-13 here at the Convocation Center as Kelly puts up a three from the right wing, hits again, second three of the game for her. That is the fourth for Central. They lead by 7.
10 quick points by Kelly. You look in the first meeting, she was able to get things going, but had 11 for the entirety of the contest.
She plays around 35 minutes a game, averages 14 points a game, but she played 39 minutes in that game against Eastern. That was a season high for her. Right now, with the 10 points, as you said, leading both teams with double figures.
And you expect her to be the star next year. The kid out of Detroit King earned all freshman team honors a year ago, bursting on the scene, but even better this year.
Here, Johnson with a little bunny doesn't go. Eastern now scoreless over the last 2 minutes. Another three, left wing, good. That's Raina Frost.
Frost 2 for 2 from the floor, 5 points, hasn't touched the ball very much. Hand in her face, falls down, but still give another assist to Presley Hudson. All-time leader in that category, just finds a way.
It's an 8-0 run right now for Central as Kira Johnson grabs her own rebound, put back no good, but she is able to draw a foul. And believe it or not, that is the first team foul. Johnson now to the free throw line. 42% free throw shooter on the year. Did not score in the first meeting with CMU and had just 1 point. The team's lost to NIU.
She'd come in the game before that, had a solid outing, and Central really did a job limiting her and Hudson's touches in that first meeting. Game before against Bowling Green was when she collected a double-double, 12 and 12, and then went zeros in Mount Pleasant.
And she misses both of her free throws here, so the scoreless streak will continue here for Eastern Michigan, now over 2:30. The last bucket was from Cardwell, and prior to that was Lewis.
Kelly was directing traffic. She wanted the ball back quickly.
Bustle feeds inside. Hook shot doesn't go by Frost. Rebound chased down by both Kira Johnson and Jenna Anna-Carrico, and it's going to result in a turnover. It's the fourth miscue of the game for Eastern Michigan.
Well, we've already talked about how Eastern is trying to limit rebounding touches. You already see 5 boards out of Raina Frost.
Driving in, kicking out is Waters. There's Frost on cue.
Quick touch. Didn't take long for her to get the ball in her hand. Up with it. And a 17-4 run in favor of CMU for the last 7+ minutes.
Frost is just so good and so smooth out there.
Well, you wondered how the effect of last year, no Tanara Moore, and she's really found a way to redefine herself, get so much better this year. I mean, the loss of Tanara Moore and Cassie Breen were felt early in Central's losses, but they have changed, redeveloped that swagger, and been steamrolling people as of late.
And since she stepped on campus in Mount Pleasant, she has just been a force to behold. During the 15-16 season, she was MAC All-Freshman Team, 16-17 year All-MAC third team, 17-18 she was voted MAC Tournament MVP, second team All-MAC, and by the way, broke the MAC single season record with 402 rebounds after the second rebound of the NCAA tournament back on March 19th. And you just, again, look at what she's done this year.
It's a once-in-a-generation type player that she has been.
Big reason why they've had so much success. And another three. Maddie Waters hits from the right side. The run continues. 15-point advantage now for Central, 28-13. Eagles yet to score. here in the second quarter, so Fred Castro will take a timeout. It is a 13-0 run right now for Central Michigan over the last 4 minutes. The Chippewas on top, 28-13. Point advantage right now for Central Michigan over Eastern. Second meeting between the two schools here this season, 28-13. Chippewas on top. We were talking before the break about Raina Frost and what she's been able to do and what she has meant to this Chippewa program since she has been here, Greg. The senior out of Reese, Michigan, has had now 5 consecutive weeks this season as the MAC West Player of the Week, 9 total this year. Then you just see some of the other gaudy numbers she's put up.
It's just amazing some of the numbers you look at. 39 and 15 at NIU. 9 players of the week honors. It's too bad she couldn't have stayed at 8, because then it would just been a snowman, right?
That's right. Of course, we're ready for the snowman to go away.
Yeah, that can. Enough of that falling white fluffy stuff.
Here in March, we're ready to move forward to spring, and she's also in line for a couple of other honors. She was named one of 10 finalists for the Katrina McLean Award. That goes to the best power forward in college basketball. 3 offline here for Central. Now falling to 6 and 12 from the long line, but they've already made 2 more threes than they made against Eastern in the first outing.
Go back inside to the Eagles. But another offensive foul on Courtney Lewis. And that will be her second, third turnover already. You can just see that one starting to develop. Put her head down, lowered the shoulder. You're gonna get that call every time.
At the end of the first quarter, Cardwell drove in, did not get a call. So maybe a little frustration on Eastern Michigan's side, trying to get into the lane, getting some contact. That one swatted away by Anna Carrico. And now here's Lewis all alone. That will finally give Eastern their first field goal of the second quarter, nearly 4 minutes in.
Well, Eastern's going to try to apply some pressure. That's where they've had some success, trying to trap the Chips in the backcourt.
Chippewas using a 13-0 run to build a 15-point advantage before that last bucket. Now 10 to shoot. It's Hudson who was trying to drive in around Cardwell, and they'll get Corianne Cardwell for the foul. So that will be her second, team third, with 5:53 to play here, second quarter. Danielle Minot will check in, and now Courtney Lewis will take a seat.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch Lewis sparingly with those 2 fouls, and same for Cardwell. But problem is you just don't have a whole lot of options to look down on the bench in terms of numbers.
There's Waters. Drives right side, drops it off to Kelly. Kelly already with 2 threes in this game. Waters with 3. Now Bussell hits. That one just to the left of the rim, and the rebound now comes out to Hudson. Let me make that Frost. Hudson will control it here, top of the key.
It's only the second offensive board CMU's had during the after day.
Long 3 is good. That is Michaela Kelly again. Third three-pointer of this game. Kelly now with 13. Eastern trying to answer on the other side, just with 1 field goal here in the quarter. They've been outscored 14-2 after it was 17-13 after the first quarter. Anna Carrico will chase it down. Nearly had it stripped away. 7 to shoot. And Eastern travels. 6th turnover now for the Eagles.
Kelly now 1 3-pointer away from equaling her season high. She's done so 4 times. Career best is 5, which she had against Buffalo. But a really good first quarter, and now into the second for her.
13 points. As Raina Frost drives down, and she'll hit. Central is just a machine with how they work offensively. So many options they can go to.
Well, and they keep, like you said, they keep you guessing, because if you can't do it one way, there's always an opening with somebody else out there. If it's not Frost, it's Kelly, or there's Hudson, and there's another offensive charge taken by CMU. 3.
That was Kira Bussell who got behind Autumn Hudson. She takes a spill to the floor. Hudson will make her way back down the floor, and Central will take back over, up 33-15, largest lead of the game.
You don't think of Central leading the way with their defense, but they've done a solid number on Eastern this afternoon.
So out rebounding the Eagles here with a +6 advantage, 16-10. Central has not yet been to the free throw line. Eastern's been there just twice and missed both. Again, another 3. Right corner is through. 3-point shooting contest going on for the Chips. Maddie Waters hits, 36-15.
Like I said, you expected Eastern to try to take away things inside. Instead, it's opened up outside, and CMU has not missed.
Central 5 3-pointers here in the second quarter. Now trying to push the action, that's Kelly. Eastern couldn't get back fast enough on the defensive side of things. Chippewas continuing their run, now a 10-0 run over the last 250.
It's a game that, remember, was 9-8 at one point.
It was after Kiera Johnson hit. It was a 17-13 game after the first quarter. Eagles with just 2 points in the frame. Desperation heat no good. Eastern now 1 for 9 from the floor. Another 3 left wing. That one's left short. Rebound though comes into the hands of Central. Anna Carrico will help up Pineda.
Just kind of ran her over trying to get the board.
That'll be Kelly.
Eastern 1 for their last 11.
3:21 has been their scoreless drought. Before that, it was 4 minutes. Remember, it was Courtney Lewis who drove in. 23-point differential now.
Well, you're kind of at that point where you need your offense to go fast to help you with possessions. The other part is you also don't want to go fast because CMU is willing and able to go just as fast on the other side offensively to keep this offense going.
You really don't want to get into a track meet with Central. They will run you down. They average around 80 points a game. give up just around 66. Now they'll turn it over. 8th turnover of the day. Cardwell trying to push the action, and she was able to get Raina Frost out of position, and Frost will be charged for the foul. That will be the 13th foul here on Central. First on Frost, and now Eastern back to the line for the 3rd time in this game. Again, they missed their first 2, which was Kira Johnson, but Cardwell will step to the line. It's 61% on the season and hits her first.
See Waters depart, and they check back in Jahari Smith, as well as also bringing Gabrielle Bird in. Bird to get out of South Lyon, the junior, trying to get her more involved, give people some more minutes, or give her minutes so they can take a minute or 2 off the floor.
It's 2:05 to play here in the first half. Another 3, this time left side, no good. Rebound though will go out of bounds here sideline. Last touched here by Bird. So Anna Carrico and Eastern Michigan take back over.
Well, now if you look, just 2 minutes to go by halftime, if you're Fred Castro, you're telling his team, you're not going to overcome it in one swoop, but take it, chip away at this disadvantage to get it back to a reasonable number.
No pun intended there. Right now, as you said, you just take it one step at a time. Eastern is riding a 4-0 run right now. Hudson ended the long field goal drought, and then the 2 free throws by Cardwell. Central has not scored really in the last 2 minutes. So outlet will come here to Danielle Minot. 1:40 to play here first half. 38-19 Chippewas. Eastern 8 of 26 overall. They've scored just 6 points here in the second quarter. 2 of 10 from the floor.
They're going to get illegal at the top of the key. Just turning it over. As you see, Johnson was moving on that screen.
Central will take back over. Sue Guevara looking on. Chippewas 8 of 13 here in the second quarter alone. They're 15 of 26 overall.
Just a very eerily similar quarter to what Eastern had up in Mount Pleasant. Just you go through that stretch and then you find your way offensively to come back through.
Whistle shot is left short. Cardwell will grab it. Just over a minute to play. Eastern doing a nice job keeping Central scoreless over the last 2 minutes, but have not been able to score themselves. Here's Pineda. One hits the backside, maybe the right side of the rim, and pops out. Hudson drives in, loses control of it. They're going to have Eastern last touch it, so we'll stay with Central with 52.5 to play.
Lewis backed out with just those 52.5 seconds to go. Have to be, again, really careful with those 2 fouls.
Left side, here's Bird. Feeds it over now to Hudson. We'll have another whistle. We'll get lead Danielle Minot here. So Minot will pick up her first. That is a team 5th. And now heading to the line for the first time is Central. It will be Raina Frost. Well, Greg, we had an opportunity to learn some information about Frost before the game. And on her Twitter account, she has what she calls Frost Facts, where she gives some information to those that follow her about scientists have found a way to unboil an egg. It rains diamonds on a different planet, that type stuff. And then we asked, well, what is it that she wants to go into? And they said astrophysics.
Exactly, just like you and I drew it up.
Exactly. See, you not only can perform on the floor, but clearly can perform in the classroom.
A kid that has excelled in her career, both on and off the classroom. Google Cosida, old academic district honoree.
There's Pineda, she drives in, and another charge on Eastern. They've just not been able to find their way into the paint. They do have 10 points, but every time they try to force their way in, it's resulted either in a turnover or a charge.
I almost wonder if they're being hyper aggressive going to the rack to keep getting those calls.
Well, final 10 seconds here. This is Anna Carrico working with Hudson. 3 seconds now for Hudson. Pushes Minot back, doesn't go. Kiera Johnson will grab the rebound, and that will end first half action here at the Convocation Center. It has been all Central Michigan since the start of the second quarter. They now lead 40-19. And Eastern will try to find a way to regroup. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, though, we will check in on Jabria Knights, who is, of course, on Eastern Michigan's squad. Went from team manager to player. You'll hear her story when we return.
The heart-pounding, fast-breaking action of college basketball is back when the 2019 Mid-American Conference Basketball Tournament returns to the Q March 13th through the 16th, presented by Visit Myrtle Beach. Pulses will rise and hearts will race as the men and women of the MAC put it all on the line. Tickets for the MAC tournament are on sale now at the Q box office, online at theqarena.com, and at all Northern Ohio discount drug marts. MAC Tournament Basketball. Be there.
Becoming a manager freshman year, I went to this summer bash they have at the student center. There's this little table and it's like managers wanted, and I was like, okay, what's a manager for? So I go up to it, and at the time it was when RGA Mary Kate was here. She's like, have you ever thought about being a manager? Like, do you know about basketball? Have you played? I was like, yeah, I've played in high school 4 years. She's like, you'll be perfect.
The process of Jabria going from manager to player really happened for a number of instances. One, just we got hit with a lot of injuries, and we did an open tryout, and the thing that really stood out to me was Jabria the whole time. She's never changed. Her attention to detail, her willingness to come in every day, whether she felt good or not, and then not just that, but the work that she did. I come from a unique perspective that I did the manager work. I swept floors, I did laundry, so I understand what that work looks like and oftentimes how unappreciated it may seem. So when the opportunity came about, we approached Jabria about it, and she had played some high school ball, but it wasn't the basketball that we were so needing. It was the energy that she brings on a daily basis.
When the scholarship came up, like, it just was a weight lifted off of my shoulder because I didn't have to stress about making sure the next semester was paid off or coming back and making sure like I could really finish because I'm the first in my family to go to college. So it was just a big stress reliever, and to this day, like, it still amazes me like that it's actually happening.
Her reaction was very, it was special. It was special. She, true to form in terms of her character, she was very appreciative. I told her what the scholarship would consist of and why we needed her. It wasn't that we were doing her a favor by any means. It was, we need Jabria.
When I found out that Jabria was put on scholarship, I was excited for her, but I was also sad at the same time because, you know, my partner in crime, she's not here anymore as a manager.
Seeing how happy she was when she found out, like, y'all, like, she told us, like, y'all, I'm about to be on the team. And, like, we like, what? She's like, I'm about to be on the team. And we like, oh, snap. Like, so now every day, like, it's like Jabria on the squad now. Like,
Jabria always has great energy. Manager or player, you will hear Jabria's mouth. Even if she plays just a minute, she's always smiling on and off the court. If someone puts their head down in practice, you know she is sprinting over there just to slap your hand. And I feel like the team really needed that.
As consistent as she was as a manager, she's even more consistent as a player. She's the first one in the gym, and she's still the last one to leave. And even sometimes I have to tell her, hey, that's not your job anymore. Put those balls down. Put this down. You are a player now. And she's just been a pleasure to have. We're incredibly fortunate to have someone of her caliber on our team.
It's Women and Girls Sports Day here in Ypsilanti. Several Eastern Michigan women's teams in attendance, all being honored here at the half. And you hear the round of applause, even from the Central Michigan faithful, really engaging a lot of these women. Of course, they went on to win some Mid-American Conference division titles, MAC tournament titles, and it's always nice to see them back. Ryan Woolley alongside Greg Steiner here at the half, though it is Central Michigan on top of the Eagles by 21. And Greg, we knew coming in this was going to be a tough team for Eastern Michigan, and Central Michigan has not disappointed.
Offense, that has been the story because CMU has had so much of it. Eastern's had good looks, but hasn't been able to finish those moments. And you look at those three-pointers, they have been reigning strong for the Chippewas in this first half to a tune of 8 for 16. Maddie Waters doing her best to carry the team. Michaela Kelly also doing it from everywhere on this floor.
Yeah, they doubled up how many three-pointers they had against Eastern in the first game, just 4. And again, 4 of 18, as you said, though, 8 of 16 in this one, Greg. Then you look at Michaela Kelly individually. She's been able to lead here Central Michigan in scoring with 15 points.
Yeah, 15 points, 6 of 7 shooting, 3 of them from downtown. Has done a good job. Also, keeping Central's turnovers numbers down. They have 8. CMU is, in that first meeting, had a lot more than that.
It's a big game for Central Michigan. We'll talk about that in just a minute, but you look at some of these first half statistics between both of these teams. Eastern has tried to find a way into the paint a couple of times. 3, in fact, they have resulted in offensive charge calls. The Eagles getting better on the steals end of things. Turnovers pretty even, but really, it's really all been about the three-pointers.
Yeah, it's been three-pointers. Eastern was trying their best to make sure that they limited inside touches, and that's allowed that outside look in a do-or-die situation.
Central Michigan, again, coming in at 21-6 on the year. A win today would have them win their 4th straight MAC West Division title, but they're also scoreboard watching as they continue to make sure that they are keeping pace with Miami for that top spot in the tournament. Again, though, a lot of honorees being honored here at the Convocation Center. Former players that you see here on the screen. Great moments in Eastern Michigan women's basketball history. The Eagles hoping to find a way to put on a performance and pick up a victory against the Chippewas.
That's all right.
And I didn't want to, you know.
Fair enough.
It's fair.
You can read signals. So, I don't think he's in the mood.
I understand.
I don't know what else he'd say. I mean, I can pester him.
No.
I can weasel my way into that. I guess it is my last.
Yeah. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? Tell you don't talk to him anymore?
We're done. I'm done. No more interviews. All right.
Back here at the Convocation Center, we are at the half, just about a minute away from second half action, getting back underway. It is the Chippewas on top by 21, 40-19, and we talked about there at the break, it's been all threes raining for Sue Guevara in Central Michigan, which is a big reason why they've had this lead.
Ryan, you think about what Central has done, and let's play a little game. Are they in or are they out?
Okay.
T1, 21-6 and RPI 24. Best win is Vandy. These are all Power 5 and or Group of 5 teams. Team 2, 22-4. Beat Purdue on the road. Their RPI is 39. Then you see some 2 other teams. They got a win at Oregon. RPI's up there, and a win at Texas. Of those 4, who's in, who's out?
I am going to say Team 1 is in, Team 4 is out,
2. Any guesses on who they are?
Oh, Lord. This is, now you're putting me on the spot here. I'm going to say teams 1, 2, and 3 are all going to be in. I'm going to say 4 is out.
All right, Melina, let's flip that card. It is the Chips at number 1. I say they're in. Ohio, right there, an at-large opportunity. They're in. And Vanderbilt, the team that CMU beat for the first time ever, beats Tennessee. You say they're out. That could be a first time Tennessee has never made a women's tournament, if so.
Crazy to think when you think about, you know, everything they've done there, down there in Tennessee. But that's a fun game to play, because you get tied up with logos, you get tied up with team mascots, you get tied up with stuff that you've seen in tournaments before, but when you really break it down to the numbers, then you kind of get down to the nitty-gritty of things. And here at the Convocation Center, it is Central Michigan on top, 40-19. Third quarter action just about to get underway. That was a second quarter Eastern Michigan would rather forget about, Greg. 6 total points in that frame.
Well, they had 2 against NIU and nearly won, so
crazier things
have happened.
Again, a win, though, by Central would have them win their 4th straight MAC West title. And in scoreboard watching for the Chippewas in this game as they are trying to keep pace with Miami of Ohio, who are at the half with the Bulls of Buffalo. And right now, Miami is actually trailing by 10, 41-31. Here's Hudson, gets into the lane. She'll put it up and in and draw a foul. So it doesn't take 4 minutes for Eastern to get their first field goal of the third quarter. Now an opportunity for an and one.
Have to convert on free throws now. You look inside, duck pass in, and just Height gets the hack and a chance to show it with Autumn Hudson using her height and ability down low.
Hudson will attempt the and one. She's a 31% shooter on the year. That hits every side of the rim, but then pops out. Kayla Kelly will bring it up, the leading scorer both ways. She's one of 3 players in double figures for Central Michigan. Just 4 players have scored for the Chippewas, 3 of which are in double figures. Presley Hudson, the only player that has not reached the double figure mark. She's struggled from the floor at 1 of 6, which is 2 points. But it really doesn't matter when you got Kelly and Frost around you right now.
Well, and when Eastern saw Hudson the first time around, she had the scoring record that was weighing on her shoulders. And you thought once she hit that mark, things would change. Against Eastern, she had a good second half performance, so Sue Guevara hoping that is the case there. But on the other side of the floor, Autumn Hudson with the foul and the turnover again. Legal screen at the top of the key. 10 now for EMU on the turnover category.
Now going back to that first meeting, Hudson finished with 21 and 6 against the Eagles. At 18 and 5 in their victory against Ball State, where they rolled the Cardinals 81-64.
Opportunity to go back inside after the disruption, reset the ball.
Another 3. Left wing doesn't go. Rebound, though, to Frost. She's triple teamed, and Carrico comes away with it. Now Cardwell wide open, streaking down. Finds her way up and in. Eastern now with 2 field goals in the third.
Well, I think you're going to have to gamble a little bit for opportunities like that. If you can, get somebody streaking in transition and lob it forward, and then you get a nice cell job on a foul right there on a cross-court action.
And so Cardwell will pick up a foul. That now will be her third, team second. And you see around the MAC so far today, Greg, a lot of action, a lot of scoreboard watching as well.
Yeah, you look at the one Eastern is looking at tonight at Akron. But again, good basketball all around. How about Western Michigan? Maybe turns the corner a little bit after the win the other day against EMU.
Right now on top of Ball State, 42-27. That Ohio-Akron game you mentioned, Greg, that's the big one for Eagle fans. Eastern still has an outside shot of getting a home tournament game here in Ypsilanti. They've got to make sure they win and Akron loses.
Well, no, all eyes will also be on DeKalb coming up in right about now. A tip-off is the men's game on the EMU side. They're in DeKalb, still in the race for that first-round home game. Either side is home on that Monday, the 11th. You and I will have coverage right here on our ESPN family of networks.
Men, of course, trying to rebound from their loss to Central, who were here on Tuesday night. A game where Eastern Michigan led by 10 at the break, 12 at the 4-minute mark into the second half, and then the Chippewas just went on to dominate Eastern.
And give the CMU men's club a lot of credit. They were playing without Sean Roundtree, found a way after all looked very bleak, and turned the table.
There's a knockaway. You talked about being aggressive, Greg. That was Cardwell. Got right into the passing lane. Should put it up and in. Eastern Michigan on a 5-0 spurt.
Now 10 fast break points for the Eagles as they just get it. Again, push it ahead. And Sue Guevara wants timeout across the way. Eagles, a nice little 5-0 spurt of their own. Has it back. And Eastern trying to make a little run here in the second half. We'll pause for timeout with them. Back after this from the Convocation Center.
.25-26 Central Michigan with a lead over Eastern Michigan at the Convocation Center. I'm David Pierce Anderson. Didn't get a chance to talk to Coach Castro at halftime. He was straight to the locker room, straight to the bench. Obviously a frustrating first half for Eastern Michigan. Couldn't find a stop from on Central side. They couldn't miss, and then Eastern couldn't score the basketball. Very difficult combination on that end, and hopefully someone can come up, start scoring a little bit here. Danielle Minot held scoreless at this point, and hopefully Cardwell can keep it going a little bit later on in this game, but somebody really needs to step up here.
I just enjoy the guy behind you dancing.
We have a little dance action behind me?
Oh yeah, sign him up.
Hey, when the camera's on, weird things happen. And you mentioned it, Dave. Danielle Minot looking for her first points in this game. She did not start, by the way, and she is 0 for 5 in this contest, but Cardwell right on cue has 11.
Go back inside, Bustle with the offensive stick back, and first points by her today after she'd been 0 for 3. Not many points in the paint overall for CMU, just 12.
Minot rises up and gets her first shot. And Greg, this is not the first time we've seen Danielle struggle this season. What do you think it might be? Is it a mental thing? Not speculating if there's an injury or anything, but do you think there's just something bothering her that's has her shot off?
Well, I think part of it is anytime you're approaching the end of your senior campaign. You only know you have so many opportunities left. It has to be in your head a little bit, but also you know that other teams are gunning for you. You're the best player offensively in the score sheet, so people start looking at you and finding any way they can to shut you down.
There's Hudson who grabs her own rebound, couldn't get up and in. Danielle Minot got tripped up by Michaela Kelly there on the baseline, and they're going to get Kelly for the foul.
She had a chance to talk with some of the Central Michigan media people, and they were talking about Central's goals, and it was rebounding, holding onto the basketball, and keeping Minot quiet. So obviously keeping her quiet, but if she's not even starting, you're already in a good position there.
And they've done a nice job controlling the glass as well. 21-17 in favor of the Chips in this one.
Meanwhile, it was Eastern in their shoot-around talking a lot about rebounding and toughness.
There's Lewis trying to sink a three from the left corner. She does. Just the second three-pointer of the game for Eastern, both from Courtney Lewis. It's now an 18-point game. Game got away from Eastern in the second quarter. They outscored 23-6. They're only down by 4 heading into the frame. As Dave talked about, they were able to hold Central Michigan scoreless, but they just couldn't score on the other side.
The assist number, CMU now 13 assists on 20 makes.
Ross will grab that one off the rim. Chippewas 57% from the floor again. Just raining threes in this game, though that one no good. Cardwell will come away with a rebound. Cardwell gets a bump. That was against Raina Frost.
What a good idea. You know contact's coming, so she just does a good job of elevating, getting it to try to get herself free throw tosses, and now that's 2 on Frost. And so now you see a little foul trouble. Kelly with 3 as well as on Smith.
Eastern with 10 points in the paint. Cardwell, though, will hit a free throw. Eastern has struggled at the free throw line all year this year. 57% as a team. It's the worst free throw percentage in the MAC. Cardwell, though, will make both. Cardwell cleaning up at the line herself today, now 5 of 6. 51-33, Chippewas on top. Took the first meeting by 10 in Mount Pleasant, trying to win again here in Ypsilanti. There's Frost. Works around to Lewis, draws some contact, count the bucket and the foul. Nothing really Lewis can do about that. She had her right in front of her, and then Frost was able to just maneuver her body, get a arcing shot, and get the contact.
Here's one more look at it. You see right there, bounces pass down. Eastern bench 1 to 3 seconds, but she just escaped one of those feet outside the stripe before she began to penetrate to the rack.
And one is good. 21-point lead again. There's Pineda. Trying to work her way in, gets body contact as well. That time with Presley Hudson. She'll scoop.
You kind of have the same amount of contact, but that's when you're a Player of the Year candidate, a little more protection than you do just for a freshman.
And that time Pineda went over the top, knocked the rebound out, and Anna Carrico will come away with it. She's trying to push the action. Wow, how did she get that one to go?
Should have had an and one opportunity, took a fall to the floor, but a brilliant play to get it to spin through.
It's Anna Carrico's first points of the game, and now a knockaway again. This one's in front of Anna Carrico. She'll go right up and in, count the bucket and the foul. Eastern Michigan on a 6-0 run, cutting into this lead, 54-39, with 4:07 to play here in the third quarter. Eastern, 6-0 run over the last minute, able to knock Central Michigan into their 11th turnover, and Anna Carrico making a pay with back-to-back buckets.
Eastern Michigan ranks 4th in the conference as far as steals are concerned. They average 8 a game. They have already met that 8 steal number here in this contest. And Greg, they had 5 at the break, 3 more for Cardwell here in the second half.
Yeah, done a good job here in the second half with those steals. As you mentioned, 8. But more importantly, they've lent to fast break opportunities. Eastern with 8 fast break points here in the first 6 minutes.
7-0 run right now for Eastern Michigan as Jenna Anacarico hits the and one. It's now a 14-point game. That's the closest it's been since midway through the second half.
Again, you look at Eastern on the floor, with the exception of Minot, everybody out there, freshmen and sophomores. So finding ways to gain confidence and grow. Meanwhile, on the other side, Central's got mostly upperclassmen. If you figure they've been running Hudson, and Frost, and trying to work in Waters, so old school, new school, trying to earn their rights.
In foul trouble looming for Central Michigan as Kelly has 3, Smith has 3, Frost with 2. Frost will get it into Presley Hudson. She's trapped here baseline, stolen by Danielle Minot. Minot puts a floater up in the lane and hits. Eastern Michigan closing the gap just ever so slightly. A 9-0 run. You talked about it at the end of the first half, Greg. You just got to kind of chip away at the lead. And right now, Eastern doing just that as Garrett Johnson steals another one here at center court.
And frustrating CMU via the passing lanes, getting hands, being very athletic. And again, a turnover at midcourt.
9-0 run right now for the Eagles over the last minute 20. There's Cardwell. Drops it off to Minot. She has it stripped from her. Eastern turns it over now for the 11th time.
They sent everybody to one side. Danielle could have used a help, but instead decides to take it herself.
So Minot misses the shot, or at least had it stolen from her on the offensive side, then comes back down defensively. We'll draw the foul right here.
Splits with it. May have been a clean block, but they'll get the foul anyways. You look one more time on that backside. I guess she does get body contact.
So then at the line will be Presley Hudson, and she will make her first. Hudson, a 93% free throw shooter on the year. That is the best percentage in conference play. She'll make both.
Has just one game this year where she's not hit double figures, and that was against Louisville. CMU nearly knocked them off. She was 2 of 13 in that game for 7 points.
Hudson swats that one out of bounds.
You got the offensive foul.
Central will take over. Eastern right now is outscored Central Michigan here in the third quarter, 23-16. Here's Hudson. Could not get it to go. Rebound comes out, right back to her though. Hudson picks up her dribble, drops it off to Frost. Frost nothing but net. 4 straight points here for Central, builds the lead now back to 16.
Another 20-point performance for Raina Frost. The only thing she's missing is that double-double, and she's 2 rebounds away.
You know, going back to what you were saying about Presley Hudson, Greg, you're just almost waiting for her to heat up in this game. She's 1 of 9 from the floor, 0 of 7 from downtown. You just think she makes one of those threes, maybe the lid will come off the rim.
Eastern doing a good job of forcing her to have to go side to side.
What's happening here? Then tries to weave her way in, loses her footing, kicks it back out. Waters goes up against 2 white shirts in Kiera Johnson and Jenna Anacarico. So count the bucket and the foul. And one coming. So after a 9-0 run for Eastern Michigan, the Chippewas have responded with 6 straight themselves. So Guevara talking to Presley Hudson. And one bounces around, drops through. It's Waters again. A 7-0 run right now here for Central Michigan, answering Eastern's 9-0 spurt. Able to pull within 14. Cardwell gets some contact. Now she will head back to the line. They're going to reach in here, I believe, on Waters. That will be her second, team fifth.
Just amazing the way Eastern comes back, tries to get their offense going. Corian Cardwell seems to be that linchpin. She just drives the rack at the free throw line. Now 6 for 7, give her 14 points overall.
She had 20 against Western Michigan just 2 games ago, but that 14 is the most she has had since the game at Miami, where she put up 17.
Just a consistent driver. You know each and every night what you're going to get out of Corian.
Frost has to track down the basketball as Fred Castro looks on as Central tries to continue to burn some clock here. Minute 45 to go here, third quarter. Really been all Central since the start of the second. Eastern making a nice run here in the third, but Chippewas answering as Garrett Johnson pulls down the missed 3 by Frost. Johnson's third board. Eastern gets in the lane again.
Just the lane open. She's able to slice through it.
Well, David talked about Eastern needing someone to step up. We highlighted Courtney Lewis in the open, and for a while she was Eastern's leading scorer, but Cardwell coming on strong right now. Garrett Johnson cleans up the board. Much better third quarter here for Eastern Michigan than they had in the second.
26-point explosion here in the third. If they just would have been able to spread them out, not had a 6-point second quarter, it's a much different game at this point.
Cardwell again gets into the lane, puts it up off the glass and in. 61-46. It's 5 straight points here for the Eagles, and then Central answers on the other side. Maddie Waters for 3 from the right corner.
And a great decision by Michaela Kelly to find her that feed to allow her to find a shot in the corner.
Waters now with 5 3-pointers in this game, 10 overall for the Chippewas. They're shooting 45% from downtown. Cardwell will hold for the final shot.
One off her career high in terms of threes made now for Waters.
There's Minot, gets behind the defender, puts it up off the glass and in. And Central will just hold it and let the third quarter run out. Nice third quarter for Eastern Michigan. They outscore the Chippewas by 4, make that by 6, 30-24. And the Eagles trying to make a run, cut into this deficit as Danielle Minot takes it to the rack. Corian Cardwell putting on a performance here in the third quarter. She had 6 points at the break, 12 points here in the third quarter, and she has just come on strong since Mid-American Conference play started. She scored a season and career high of 25 earlier this year. That was against Iowa State. And so far in this game, Greg, now with 18 points, that is her 4th highest output this season.
Had done a good job here in the second half. 6 points at the break, 18 now. Effective shooting, 6 for 8. She also has 4 steals to pace Eastern. She's going to have to do a lot more thievery to get the Eagles back in this one here in the fourth.
Second on the team in scoring at 13 points a game. She does have already 4 steals in this contest, go along with the 4 rebounds and those 18 points. Central with a football-style pass. That's to Kelly. Kelly takes it right up and in. Nobody was going to catch it.
That's one way to beat pressure, is just throw it right over the top.
Kelly playing with 3 fouls in this game. She's one of 2 players on Central's roster with 3. Smith is the other. Courtney Lewis has 4 for Eastern Michigan. Cardwell has 3. There's Kiera Johnson weaving her way around, but couldn't get it to go.
Not bad for the post. They've had a struggle down low. Just 3 makes between Hudson and Johnson.
Here's Cardwell with another steal, then rips it off the floor. We'll have a jump ball call. However, it will stay with Central Michigan. But you gotta like the intensity Corian Cardwell has brought to Eastern Michigan.
Just trying to do everything she can to wheel her team. As you look at CMU, a win today gives the Chips the West Division title. It would be their 4th consecutive MAC West title. They already own a share of it, but won it on their own. And then also, I don't know if they know, but with Miami right now falling in their game, this could change how the seeds in the MAC tournament looks, as the Redhawks getting clobbered 72-42 as they head to the 4th.
I believe that was a 10-point game at half. I think they had 41 points at the Redhawks. They scored 1 point in the third quarter. 30 points right now. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was a 31-point output for Buffalo in the third quarter.
Central player take a spill here, and they're going to get an offensive charge. The Eagles trying to claw their way back into this game. They trailed by as much as 24. They led by as many as 2. That was early in the first quarter when it was 7-5. Sue Guevara and company look on. Guevara again in her 12th year in the sidelines at CMU, hoping for bigger and better things as the season winds down. Just 3 games to go, including to today's action. And a Carrico. Left wing 3, no good. Rebound in the hands of Frost.
There is a double-double for Frost, but a turnover in the backcourt. Kelly moving too fast. Gives it right back. 16th time Central has turned it over.
There's Anna Carrico. Trying to find her way in around Frost, then puts up a shot well offline. Central will bring it right back down the floor. Chippewas shooting 56% in this game, but have been money from downtown. They hit again. Now 11 3-pointers. That is Maddie Waters tying a career high, and threes at 48%, or at least close to it. Cardwell brings up for Eastern Michigan.
4th consecutive game Central has hit 11 3-pointers in a contest.
Second time this season that Waters has had at least 6 threes in a game. First time was earlier this year against Western Kentucky. She was 6 of 9 in that game, already 6 of 9 in this one. So at the line now will be Kira Bussell. Shoot 2, Eastern Michigan. Seven of 12 at the line. Central Michigan yet to miss. We'll keep that going. Following today's game, the Chippewas will return home. They will play host to Western Michigan and then wrap up against Toledo at home as well. The Eagles, after this game, will bring in Toledo on Wednesday, and then they will hit the road at Ball State for their final game of the year as well. The officials discussing.
Shot clock's right now at 11. I think they're discussing whether there was enough possession to reset.
Looks like they might go to the monitor to check this thing out. 7:34 to play here in this game. It's 71-49 Central Michigan. Eagles have been held scoreless over the last 2:04. Right now the Chips riding a quick 5-0 run. Well, coming into this game, Eastern Michigan, we talked about matching their win total from just a year ago. Currently sitting at 12-14, but they've done a nice job defending the nest here at the Convocation Center. They've secured its first winning season here in Ypsilanti since the 15-16 campaign and sit at 9-3 on the year and had an opportunity to post their most wins at home. They were able to pick up a victory today and against Toledo since the 14-15 season, but Central Michigan having other plans, trying to win the MAC West title outright.
Turnover on the inbounds pass after Eastern got the shot clock reset. They throw it right in the hands of Kelly. Does Corian Cardwell on the inbounds play.
The feed inside to Bustle. Works around two defenders, puts it up and in, 73-49. Central perfect so far from the floor here in the fourth quarter. Minot really lost her dribble, now drops it off to Cardwell. Cardwell takes it right up, doesn't go, rebound into the hands of Frost. Raina Frost now with 12 rebounds to go along with her 20 points. Another double-double for her. It's 11 straight double-doubles, 25 on the season. Is Cardwell the sky for the rebound. Gets a little push in the back though by Kira Bustle.
Look at CMU, the high percentage, 56% they've shot. Here in the second half, they've been even better, upping that percentage, shooting 75% here in the fourth, but only 4 offensive rebounds, surprisingly.
Eastern with the 6. 26, though, defensive rebounds here for the Chippewas, and they've out-rebounded the Eagles by a +7 mark, 30-23, now make it 31-23.
And just another inside look that does not go too strong.
Kayla Kelly drops it inside, that's Frost. She tries taking it to the rim, was partially blocked, and blocked again by Hudson, but Hudson got some contact on her. Now Frost will head back to the line, and Hudson will grab the foul. That will be her third, team third. Frost back to the line. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Raina Frost, one of 6 Central Michigan players to reach the 1,000 point, 1,000 rebound plateau. Comes into this game playing around 37 minutes of contest. Hardy's played 34.
Yeah, just does not leave the floor.
When you have the talent she does, I mean, why would you? Seems like every time she touches the ball, she makes something happen. That time she was rejected as triple team. Under 6 minutes to play here, Eastern Michigan down 74-59. Now Kelly tries to drive in, and Cardwell was matched up with her. They're going to say a kick ball.
Eastern 0 for 7 in the frame. It's amazing how you go from 30-point output in the third, 12 of 16, just unable to find any true rhythm.
Watch out, here's Waters again. She buries a 3 from the right corner. Maddie Waters with her 7th three-pointer of the game. That is the most she has put up all season from the long line. She is Central Michigan's leading scorer in this one with 24 points. And that will take us to a timeout. It is the Chippewas on top, 77-49, as the Chippewas bury their 12th three of this game. Coming into this game, we talked a lot about Raina Frost and Presley Hudson, but it has now been the Maddie Waters show. She has put up a new career high, 24 points, and doing so all from the long line, Greg. 8 of 11 she has jacked, or excuse me, 7 of 10 rather from the three-point line. 8 of 11 overall, though. Yeah, you look at her previous career high, 6 threes made against Western Kentucky. And a career high in that game she set at 18 points. So a really tremendous job they've done. And that was the Eagles' game plan. See if she could beat you. And today she has had the best game of her career. She's also 1 rebound shy of matching her career high of 6 rebounds. And she's put up her 3rd best assist total of 4. She has 2 games of 6 assists so far this season. Figure Waters has had 39 threes prior to today. So add her 7 more. So she's got 46 in her career. That's a pretty good afternoon when you're looking at almost 20% of your career output has come in one day. Pretty good day at the office. I mean, you just look back to her freshman campaign last year. She was the only true freshman to average double-digit minutes. Had a career 9 points in one of the games in November and pulled down 4 rebounds at that point, and she's only gotten better this year. Right here at the Convocation Center, though, it is 77-49. Central Michigan, they have dominated really the second and the fourth quarter. The Eagles struggled in the second quarter, putting up just 6 points. Bounced back in the third with a 30-point outing, but here in the fourth quarter, Greg, it's just over 5 minutes and have still yet to find their first bucket. Yeah, still waiting for the first score. Even a free throw chance has been hard to come for EMU in this fourth frame. 0 for 9 from the field, 0 for 1 at the line. Central, meanwhile, shooting 50% from the field with 4 of 8. And they've now made 3 of 4 at the charity stripe. This will be Central Michigan's 22nd win on the season. They'll move to 13-3 on the MAC, and they'll be checking some box scores in the locker room for that Buffalo-Miami game to see how the Redhawks fared.
Great feed by Anna Carrico, her 5th assist to get it to Autumn Hudson for the easy score. Finally end that drought.
Hudson now with 6. Another 3. Right side, Central is just lighting the world on fire from downtown. 13 3-pointers.
Not only the 2nd field goal by Presley Hudson, though.
I mentioned she only missed double figures but once this season. That was earlier this year against Louisville. Right now it is 81-53, 4 minutes to play here at the Convocation Center. Eastern trying to claw their way back, but this one pretty much all but done. Of course, the Chippewas trying to find a way into that first round in not only the bye in Cleveland, but the #1 overall seed. And let's talk about the tournament for a minute, because of course first round campus site games will take place March 11th. And then the quarterfinals, semis, and championship games all down in Quicken Loans Arena, March 13th, 15th, and 16th. Right now, the Eagles on the outside are looking in and having one of those first-round campus sites.
Yeah, right now, Eastern, the 9 seed, would be on the road. Central trying to punch their ticket as the #1 seed, which would play one of those early games at the Q, but hard to think about it. We saw some of the players out here on Alumni Day, Ryan. It was 15 years ago today, the first time Eastern Michigan hung their first banner. They went in as a lower seed. They were the 5 seed that year and came away with a championship. Right now, they'll have to do some damage from that first round game to fight back for a banner.
It's just amazing how fast time flies when you put it in that context. I was a sophomore in college at that time. There's Bustle, gets into the lane, puts it up and in. Central continuing their offensive onslaught. They average 80 points a game, have now eclipsed that at 83. There's Anna Carrico. She drives in, gets a little bump. And Eastern will head back to the free throw line, where they've made 58% in this game, 7 of 12. Carrico's been there once, which was an and 1. She hit that. Cardwell's done the most damage at the free throw line, making 6 of 8. And drop through after touching every side of the rim. So now a standing ovation here for Raina Frost. Central Michigan faithful making the trip from Mount Pleasant to see Frost and company potentially win a 4 straight MAC West title, and they're 336 away from doing so. Hudson will bring it up. Checking back in is Gabrielle Bird.
Look down at the numbers. Jenna for Eastern Michigan had no points at the half. Second half, 9 points for Eastern. But CMU just continues to pile up those offensive numbers.
Keep finding a way inside. It's now 85-55. That matches the largest lead of this game of 30. Eastern's largest lead was 2 back in the first quarter. Anna Carrico, step back 3 for her offline. Rebound to Drabick and knocked out of her hands. Will go off Eastern Michigan. Central will reclaim the basketball with 3 to play. And now we'll have another substitution as Sue Guevara starts to pull the troops back. As Kelly will take a seat, as does Bustle. And again, Central Michigan's fans letting them hear it as Kelly steps off the floor with 21 points. Bustle leaves with 12. Now Presley Hudson will travel. And that will result in the 16th turnover here of the game for the Central Michigan Chippewas. Just about 2 over their season average per game of 14.
Eastern a year ago nearly bounced Central in that tournament contest. And Eagles all year long had these games kind of circled on their calendar, waiting and hoping. And each time, Central has found a way to do it differently each time to post these victories.
Now a jump ball underneath. Eastern will take over possession in that first game. Yeah, it was a 10-point outing. Now Maddie Waters heads to the bench. The leading scorer for Central Michigan in this one, 24 points. That is a new career high for her. And checking in here for Eastern Michigan will be Jabria Knight, who you saw at the half. A little piece on her as Cardwell will take a seat. Presley Hudson will be the last one to take a seat here for Central Michigan. Weeks is checked in. She'll be matched up here with Pineda. Knight over to Anna Carrico with 15 to shoot, 2:13 to play. Anna Carrico gets a little bump, and again she'll head back to the free throw line. And now Presley Hudson should make her way to the bench, the final starter to sit down. And the crowd again gets on their feet for Presley Hudson. She'll take a seat with 7 points. Anna Carrico will make her first. Greg, you mentioned it that the Louisville game was one of the only ones she didn't have a double-figure mark this season, and she will match that total with the 7 points in this one. Talking about Presley Hudson. So Jada Robinson, the 5'8" senior guard from Bloomfield Hills, will control the basketball. She's played in 14 games this year. Doesn't see much action, about 6 minutes of contest. Here's Bird out of South Lyon. They feed inside, that's Smith. Working against Kiera Johnson, and now Johnson will draw a foul. That'll be her third, team fifth. And Jahari Smith will step to the line out of Bolingbrook, Ohio.
Central hasn't had to put a ton of numbers up at the stripe today, being there just 12 times, but they've done a good enough job to score at 83+%. Actually, Eastern has been to the line more times than they have on the afternoon.
Eastern there 16 times, Central Michigan there 12, and we'll make a correction, that was a Bolingbrook, Illinois, not Ohio, for Smith. 3 offline, Drabek with the rebound. And a Carrico. Trying to give Eastern Michigan their 10th point here of the fourth quarter. The second and fourth quarter certainly doing Eastern Michigan in this game. So Jada Robinson will grab a foul. That is her first. Central Michigan's team fourth. And now Smith will take a seat.
We got free throws coming. Initially, they weren't going to give it to Eastern, and then they looked back up at the board.
Yeah, I looked up and it said 14 fouls, but it's slow to change, so now it's at 5. And Pineda will step to the line where Eastern now has made 12 of 17. And the countdown is on for Central Michigan. Of course, they will enjoy today's victory. They'll enjoy another Mid-American Conference West title. 4th in a row for Sue Guevara and the Central Michigan Chippewas, but they have their eyes set on bigger prizes yet again. Top seed in the MAC tournament is what they're hoping for. Go on maybe to win the MAC tournament and find a way to make some damage in the NCAA tournament. Weeks who drives in, loose. Drabek fighting for the basketball. And he's going to stay here with Central Michigan with 49.1 to go in the game and a fresh shot clock. Good reminder, everybody, make sure you stay tuned in the post-game show. Greg Steiner will have a chat with Sue Guevara. She'll talk about the victory. Of course, winning another division title. Preview what's ahead for both of these teams with 2 games remaining before the conference slate comes to an end and we head into conference play as far as the tournament is concerned. 87-58, Chippewas leading.
All smiles as they're about to put up their most points in 4 games, excuse me.
They had 87 against Western Michigan and 100 against Buffalo. 92 against Bowling Green. Won 5 in a row coming into this thing. Now will win 6 straight. And the Central Michigan fans get on their feet behind the bench to say job well done to the Chippewas, who come to Ypsilanti and knock off the Eagles. 87-60 will be your final. And Central Michigan, for the 4th straight year, is going to win the Mid-American Conference West Division title. Hard-fought victory for Central. Maddie Waters leads the way with 24. And the players will exchange pleasantries at center court. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, Greg Steiner will have a chat with head coach Sue Guevara about the game. And again, we'll preview what's ahead for both of these teams, with just 2 games left on the schedule. Central Michigan wins 87-60.
Back here with CMU head coach Sue Guevara in front of certainly a partisan Central Michigan crowd. You collect your 4th straight MAC West Division title. First off, congrats. But does it ever just kind of ho-hum? I mean, it's another title.
No. It's never a ho-hum, simply because of how hard you have to work to get it. But I think, I just want to say thank you to all of our fans that traveled with us today, because I know we're in green and white, but it sure sounded like a lot of maroon and gold in the stands.
It certainly was. You look at the performances, Michaela Kelly and Maddie Waters both had great games for your team, really even when Presley was struggling.
I think, and that's what I said after the game in the huddle. I said, you guys, we put up 87 points with one of our best scores, not scoring a whole lot for us today. But I thought in the first half there, that I challenged actually Maddie and Twin, because they were doubling off of them to go in on Raina Frost. And it's like, now look, you guys, you got to show them what you can do. And they both went out and hit a couple of threes, and I told them in the timeout, that's how you earn respect. That's how you earn respect. So then they had to come out and guard them, and then we were able to get the ball inside.
Now a chance to go back home for your last two before the MAC tournament play. No easy task, but a chance to go back at home to get ready, especially with Miami right now losing, puts you back possibly at that 1 seed.
Well, all I know is I can't worry about what anybody else is doing. And that's what I think I really give our kids a lot of credit, because they've stayed focused on what we need to do. And the best thing is 5 out of our last 6 have been on the road, and we've been able to come out and win. And it's always tough to win on the road in this conference. So for us to go home and play our final 2 games in front of our fans, I think it's going to be great, and I hope we can sell out both games.
Coach, congratulations. Best of luck down the stretch, and we'll see you in Cleveland.
Thank you.
Back to you, Ryan.
All right, thank you, Greg, and thank you, Coach. Big victory for Central in this game, 87-60, and as Greg said it, 4 straight MAC West title for the Chippewas, and they couldn't have done it without Maddie Waters. She paced the Chippewas in this game. Career best 24 points for her, 8 of 12 from the floor. She made 7 3-pointers in this game. That is the most she has made all season for Central Michigan. Also converted at the line, 1 of 1. Also added 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and had 1 steal. So we're going to give her Player of the Game accolades to Maddie Waters, as she was one of 4 players in double figures for Central Michigan. Let's go take a look at some of the final statistics in this game, though. Eastern Michigan had a second and a fourth quarter they'd rather forget about, which was a big reason why the Chippewas were able to pull away in this game. But really, it was the 3-point barrage they were able to put up. 50% they shot from 3-point line, 55% from the field. Eastern shooting 39% from the floor, just 18% from the long line. Eastern getting the better end of the steals percentage at 10-4, but you add it all up against Central Michigan, cruises to the victory, their 22nd of the season. Looking ahead for both of these teams, Central Michigan will be back home after playing 5 of 6 on the road, as Sue Guevara said. Now back home to close the season with Western Michigan and Toledo. Western Michigan is a 7 o'clock tip-off. Toledo will be a 1 o'clock. Eastern Michigan, meanwhile, will have Senior Day here at home March 6th. That's when the Rockets come to town. 7 p.m. tip-off right here on ESPN+. So for David Pierce Anderson, Greg Steiner, and our entire crew, I'm Ryan Woolley saying so long from Ypsi, where the Chips defeat the Eagles 87-60 to win the MAC West title. To watch this game on replay or any other on our ESPN family of networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.